Hi guys, welcome back. Oh, we need to do our, I'm Victoria, I'm Rachel, and we're Twintorials. And also major Natasha Denona fans. Did you guys hear that she launched an all color palette called the Circo Loco palette? Me too, we bought it. It looks like this. Just initial thoughts before we actually go into the review portion and the looks. At first we were like, oh, I want it. And then I was looking at it and I was like, you know what? I can talk myself out of this. I really don't need it. Of course, nobody needs it. Oh, shut up. And then I saw this shade here called Razzle Dazzle. Right there. And I was like, you know what?
I do need it, actually.
I think I would like to own that. And yeah, I know a lot of people have been doing, you know, rearranged versions of this palette, and they've all been really, really beautiful, but I don't mind the arrangement here. I actually think it's really, really brilliant. And I think the color story is really fun, and it makes me think of different combinations. I watched Mel Thompson's review on this, and she always gets more information than I do before doing a review, so apparently this is supposed to be formatted so looks come from any quad that you pick out in the palette. So like these 4 down here would be a look, and those 4 would be a look, that kind of thing, and also in diagonals. So these 3 shades would be a look, that kind of thing, and I think that makes this even more fun. Like I see that, see that vision. I think it's really, really cool. So yeah, that is this. It's really stunning. I love it so much. But we are gonna go get into the, well, do you want to talk at all? Well, no, not really. We're gonna get into the looks, and then we'll get into some swatches in our outro, so see you in a moment. Your bait.
All right, look number 1, I played with the blues. I tried to control myself, but, you know, alas, I failed, as I always do. So we're playing with the blues today, and I'm just going to prime my eyelids with my MAC Painterly Paint Pot. This is a BH Cosmetics brush. It's from the Festival collection, but the 130 brush. Normally the numbers are rubbed off, so I'm just used to saying that. I'm going to clean up my eyebrow a little bit. I did something a little bit different with them today, and I don't know if I love or hate them yet. If you hear Charlotte crying, it's because she keeps messing with the cat. She won't listen. We keep telling her he's gonna want to play with you, and he plays rough. He likes to bite when he plays. He doesn't bite hard, but he likes to bite when he plays, and it always upsets her. So, you know, if you hear a screaming baby, that would be why. And I am recovering from a cold. Vic is too, so we're both gonna be pretty scratchy this morning. First, I'm gonna go in with the shade Fun to Mime. It's this like light kind of blue shade. This one I am going to apply with this Linda Hallberg 304 brush, and just put it in my crease. Upper crease. I don't know exactly how I feel about this shade. So I love the color. It seems to perform okay, but on like a bare eyelid, I don't like the way it looks. It seems like it may be like a satiny kind of shade. Like it's not a flat matte, which I think the intention was to make it a little less dry looking, but I don't think they succeeded in that. Basically just really, really light pastel colors have a tendency to look really, really dry on the eyelids, and at least that's my experience. So I don't know, it looks kind of funky on its own, but it looks good with everything else. I don't notice it looking bad or like overly textured on this eyelid, but just something to note if you plan on using this shade by itself. Stunning. I do really like that shade. I think it's really fun. It's very like early 2000s like music video, you know, like with the silver eyelid, but instead make it baby blue. I don't know, it's cute. Then I'm gonna go in with my Refer number 14 brush. It's a little fluffy brush, and I'm gonna go in with the shade Acrobat, which is the dark kind of navy, not navy, like a teal, like a dark teal. This brush is pretty fluffy, so it doesn't pick up as much product, which is totally fine, but just something to note, I'm not building this to full opacity, like as an outer corner shade, so it will look deeper as you build it, and these are the type of formula that build very well. I'm not entirely sure this color has a point in terms of my eye look, but I still wanted to play around with it. And I'm blending that up into our light blue shade as well. And I am going to not pack it, but add it to the outer corner just as a guide. Then one more time with that Linda Hallberg brush, I'm just going to go over everything and move on to shimmers, because this palette is very shimmer heavy, which I have no complaints about. So first I am going to go in with this Morphe brush. It's nameless. It's just like a flat Morphe brush. It's like chunkier. And I'm going to go in with the shade Flip. Nope, that's not what I did first. I'm going to go in with the shade Snow Cone, which is the very icy kind of silver blue. It's kind of similar to the shade Mint Frost, but less teal from the Tropic palette. I feel like this is kind of a revamped Tropic palette in a way. A couple of the shades are similar to the one in the Tropic, but with a much better formula, not as, because they were all kind of like hard panned, you know, they were hard to use. Anyway, I'm gonna go in with Snow Cone on this brush and add it into my inner corner, and this is a cow shade. Like, this is not for the faint of heart. This is gorgeous, very icy, very silver. Anyway, I'm kind of like doing a cut crease, but I'm not, because I'm not a cut creaser. So I kind of added that everywhere. And then I'm going to go in with the shade Flip, which is the teal. And you know how I feel about teals, so I was very excited for this shade. So I'm going to first put it on dry and then go in with a wet brush, like with Fix Plus on it, to intensify it a little bit. Just because I feel like on this eye, when I put it on top of this shade, it wasn't as opaque as I wanted it to be. It definitely lightened it up a lot, which is, you know, makes sense because I put it on top of a light shimmer, but I was hoping it was a little bit more like pow, you know? It is very pow though. I mean, it's not like not intense or anything. I'm just gonna kind of feather it into the silver a little bit. Or into the blue silver. Do like final touch-ups as we go, but I had to dip into the shade Electric. It's just electric, but spelled like trick, T-R-I-C-K. I don't like these names. Some of them are fine, some of them are confusing, but it's the dark navy shimmer. So I'm gonna use that on my outer corner, and I'm gonna use a pencil brush for that. This is a nameless pencil brush. I can almost guarantee it's from Morphe or BH Cosmetics, but I have no idea. It has since died a little bit. So I'm gonna dip into that shade, and I'm gonna tap off the excess. A lot of these shimmer shades, they don't, like, they have a lot of fallout if you use a brush because they are so like creamy. The brush picks up a lot. On your finger you shouldn't get much fallout, but it is something to note. I'm just going to start putting this in the outer corner and winging this eye look out. I love this kind of ombre. It's like a, I don't know, it's so pretty. I love these shades. Okay, so I'm winging it out a little large. It's kind of a big wing, but I'm also going to blend it right here in the tail of my brow. And then, oopies, I'm going to take the flat brush again with the green and bring that up to the brow bone and blend it in with the blue. Then I'm going to go in with another kind of pencil brush. This one's from Unicorn Cosmetics. And back in with Snow Cone, and I'm going to blend that through here. I decided on an all shimmer look. And then I did clean up the side of my wing and kind of like change the position of it, I guess, on this eye. This is like a dry wipe, so I'm not really, you know, using it properly, but I've got a lot of skincare on. I just need to move the wing upward and then feather it out. So I don't want it to be super harsh. I want it to be a little bit more feathered out, like on this side. Still harsh, but a little bit less. So let's remove that. I'm going to jump off camera and do my base. My face is so itchy. I don't know if I'm having a reaction to something or if I've got like hairs everywhere. Oh, that's driving me nuts. Anyway, I'll be back for the lower lash line in just a second. Okay, so I finished the rest of my base makeup. As you can tell, I look like a different person. I'm tan. So working through the lower lash line and inner corner. Only thing is, I don't know if I'm gonna use a shade from here for the inner corner because I happen to use the lightest shade on my lid already. But I'm basically just going to do the same thing. So I'm gonna add electric on the outer corner, flip in the middle, and snow cone in the inner lower lash line. Maybe I'll just connect it to what we had. Oh, a bad idea. I'm not using that brush. Whew. Whew. A little too fluffy. Actually, no. I'm going to use just this shade on the lower lash line. My eyes are so sensitive today. It's because I still can't sneeze. Oh my god. This is horrible. Okay, so I did that, and then I was thinking, actually, the shade Grin is actually green. I thought it was a like yellow gold, but it's actually green. So I'm gonna add that on the same brush so it'll mix a little bit right in here. Cool, cool. Holy cow, get out of my eye. And then I'm just gonna take, I'm gonna take snow cone again and just pop that in my inner corner and just blend it into that. I'm so used to wanting like a different inner corner though that it's kind of hard for me to think of this. Like, oh, the same shade I used. Interesting choice, you know. Alright, and here's the completed look with mascara on. I am thoroughly enjoying it. I love anything blue, green, teal, anything in that realm. Anyway, we will move on to Vic's look and then the final review, so enjoy. Alright, so we are on to another look here, or maybe the first look, I guess, I don't know. Also, ignore the hair. I was trying to go blonde, but for whatever reason this pink is being exceedingly stubborn. And my hair is too fried to bleach it out again anytime in the near future, so we'll just be rocking this weird kind of hair color for a while. But anyway, first I'm gonna go into the shade Joker, which is this matte pink here, on a Morphe M433 brush. I already have my eyes primed with the Amuse Cosmetics eyeshadow primer. So I'm just going to load this brush up kind of on the like flat side. I'm gonna pack it on the outer corner here. I'm gonna bring that like halfway onto my lid probably. Okay, and then on this old ass crusty BH Cosmetics brush, I'm gonna jump into the shade Firework, which is the matte orange up here, and buff out the edges. I don't love orange in general, but I love pink and orange together. It's like my favorite combo. It's so like sunsetty. And I'm gonna bring a lot of that orange into this inner portion of my brow here. Alright, and I am pretty satisfied with that. I'm gonna go in with this brush right here. I think this is from Luxie. I don't know, we got it in like an Ipsy bag like a long time ago. I'm gonna go into the shade Razzle Dazzle, which is the shade that literally sold me on the entire palette. This like fuchsia, this like deeper fuchsia kind. Yes, dear? Can I help you? Swirling. My daughter wants to bust in here, I guess. Anyway, I'm gonna put this all over the lid. This is so pretty. I'm also going to kind of bring it all the way over onto this mat as well. I feel like this would be like the prettiest one shadow look. Oh. Yes, okay. Now back in with that matte orange just to further blend those edges. I kind of like how that, like when the shimmer carries up, so it doesn't really bother me. And I definitely am getting fallout from these shimmers, so just bear that in mind if you are somebody who's like anti-fallout. I personally don't mind, but it is kind of a pain in the butt if you do your base first. Then I'm going to go in with Cotton Candy right here, which is the matte, obviously like pastel pink sort of shade. I'm going to put that on my inner corner with a Luxie, this angled brush. I can't read anything on this glittery like handle. Ferrule? What's it called? I don't know. I'm going to put that on my inner corner, which is like, I like this, but I definitely prefer like a shimmer on the inner corner. I just feel the shimmers in here will not, the lighter shimmers anyway, aren't going to be exactly what I want for a look like this. So I'm going to go back in with that brush that we had the shimmer on it and buff that like innermost corner here so that the matte doesn't like F up the shimmer. Last step here, I'm going to go into Act, this deeper shimmery purple shade. I'm going to create a wing with it. I'm going to do that on a BH Cosmetics number 10 brush. This is from like a really old set, but this brush I still like freaking love. And I am going to spray this to give it a little bit of like fluidity, I suppose. I'm going to attempt a wing. I'm going to clean up this wing here. Oh, nobody talks about how shadow like carries when you clean it up. I feel like everybody else can clean up shadow so much easier than I can. So I'm going to do my base and then we will come back for the lower lash line. I feel like I kind of want like a pop of teal under there or something, but we'll see what happens. BRB. Okay, so I definitely feel like I need some teal up in here, like on the lower lash line. I'm feeling the shade Flip right here, so I'm going to use that on a pencil brush. This one is from Yay, which I think is an AliExpress brand. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm just going to use this, and again, I'm going to spray it just for the sake of not getting a ton of fallout now that my base is done, because these shimmers are like rich, okay? They're intense. So I'm going to put that on my lower lash line. That's what I wanted. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's my eye. Okay. Oh, wow, that hurt my eye. But wow, that is like standout on the lower lash line. I feel like I'm not in focus. Alright, and this is the completed look. I did add more blush because I'm a psychopath and I wanted it to be more monochromatic with the pink. You can judge me all you want, but that is who I am. But yeah, I'm really digging the vibe. I like the performance of the palette. I love the shimmers in here. And without further ado, that's all for this look. Hope you enjoy. Oh, I know you love the makeup. We're gonna go.
What's that?
That's an eyeliner. All right, we're back. It's been 30 seconds. So, my thoughts so far. The only thing that I have one specific, well, two negative things to say. So this shade, Fun to Mime. I hate the name of this. Fun to Mime. This shade is incredibly textured on the eyelid. Incredibly textured. It looks very dry and cracked. But it feels very creamy to the touch, so it's a little bit confusing to me, but it's one of those pastel shades. So using this as a blend out shade works perfectly fine. I would not pack this all over my lid. I would not have a good time. I also don't like mattes on my lid, so, you know, whatever you want to do.
Take that with where you will.
But I'm not going to use that on my lid. I'll try it as an inner corner shade, but that's something to mention. I could do without that middle orange. I could do without it.
Oh, like that copper?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I could do without both of those middle shades. The greeny kind of gold shade, which I thought was just gold, but it's more green. Oh my god, so at least I can use it somehow. I could do without those two. I think we could have done with a matte to suit this Razzle Dazzle shade.
I wish they would have done one more deep matte, whether that be like a deep burgundy. I think a deep burgundy would have tied the entire thing in together.
Or just like a another kind of pop of color in there.
Yeah, like a lime green or
Yeah, like
a lime green would look really cool.
Spicier.
Yeah.
I could do without those two middle shades. Snow Cone and Aerialist, the two silvery shades, look kind of similar in pictures and on camera. They're not. They're not completely different. Aerialist is not even quite a silver. It's more of
like a purple silver taupe.
Yeah, it's very pretty, very unique. And Snow Cone is more of a silver version of the Tropic palette.
Mint Frost.
Mint Frost.
So it's like an icy blue silver.
Yeah, so very pretty, very nice. I am so glad I bought this.
These, oh my god, the formula on these is so good. It's very
comparable
consistent.
to the Biba palette.
Yeah, it's consistent with most of her other palettes. I believe there's what, 2 cream to matte formulas? Or cream to powder, I mean.
Probably.
I think the teal is,
Acrobat.
but this one is not.
The Acrobat and Fun to Mime, I think.
Okay, yeah, that one definitely is. Okay, that makes sense. I don't understand the pastel being cream to powder, but whatever.
That one.
I will say, what I didn't expect, the shade Spiral right here, this shimmery orange, I am in love with this. It is not as metallic as the other metallics in here. It's not as sparkly, as textured, anything like that, but because of it, it makes the most gorgeous blend out shade. Like, I love that slight shimmer on the brow bone or like on this inner brow region, like by my nose. I love it so much. So for that reason, I almost feel like the shade Firework is not needed in here, not for me anyway, but wow, I love it. These metallics are so like juicy. And I was just telling Rachel about this earlier. It's really hard to explain Natasha Denona's metallics, in my opinion, because it's not as textured as what we typically go for. Like, even the Charlotte Tilbury quads are very similar to that really sheer sparkly shade in the gold palette. And I love that kind of texture. But these are like actual metallics, and although they're not really glittery, chunky like Cleona or anything like that, there's something about them.
They're just special.
They're just so special. They look like nothing else on the eyes.
They're kind of like, to me, the difference between like a good powder highlight, you know, like 2 powder highlights. There could be one that it's shimmery, that's for sure. Like it's a powder highlight,
like a cover
but it looks
girl.
chalky,
like a CoverGirl highlight or something.
It looks chalky versus a Kaleidos or a Fenty. You know, like something.
You can feel that, like the body in these. You know, when you touch them, they're just
girth.
There's girth. Yeah, it's stunning. It's stunning. I definitely, Razzle Dazzle is for sure my favorite freaking shade. But I was a little concerned, especially with this blue electric with a K. I was concerned about these because of the Tropic palette fiasco.
Well, I kind of think that this was her version of redoing the Tropic.
I hope so. This has been an exciting launch year for Natasha. She's done a lot more like colorful type releases. And I think, yeah, I love that. Like, I feel like this is going to end up being our most used from her. Side note, I don't like this packaging.
No.
This outer packaging,
I hate that.
It's ugly as hell.
I wish carousel on that.
I wish it would have just been like this middle metallic pink or something like that. Like, I don't know. Or like a bowling alley carpet or something.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, but it's a circus.
You know, it's a circus palette, but I don't know. Can you put like a clown on here? A balloon, maybe? Like balloons? I don't know. Anything. This is ugly. I don't like that. The palette itself, I think is stunning. But I will try and make Rachel remember. I'll have some screenshots inserted of some of the fun like customizations that people have done with this, like rearranging it, because it's been really cool to watch those happen too on Instagram.
Yeah, so hopefully at this point we would have inserted swatches. That'll happen at some point while we're speaking. Editing me will figure out a way to put them in. But overall, I do think that the formula is phenomenal. I like the color story, although there is a few too many oranges for my liking. I still think that they're really fun oranges, and we don't really see very many shimmery oranges nowadays. We see coppers, golds, that kind of thing, but not a lot of shimmery oranges, which makes this really unique. I just think this is a really good palette to add to your collection. Amanda BB was talking about it in a recent video, and she said that she really wanted it because although it's very shimmer heavy, a lot of the shimmers are kind of unique. Whereas, I mean, you can get shimmers like this, like especially like through indie sites, stuff like that. But for predominant brands and Sephora's and Ulta's and stuff, you don't see this very often. So it is pretty unique, and I think that the shades are just a little bit different than your typical teals or oranges or pinks, you know?
Yeah.
I just think it's fun. I think it'll be a very beautiful addition to the Tropic palette. I think it will go really, really well with the Sunrise palette, the small one. Is it Sunset? Sunrise? I think it's Sunrise. But like the pink in here would go really good with the mattes in the Sunrise palette. So I think that this will be a really good one to use in conjunction, but my thoughts are that this is a updated version of the Tropic, because both Flip and Electric are shades, and Snow Cone are all kind of similar to what we've seen in that palette, but they actually perform. So that's exciting. That's all of our thoughts on this palette. As always, you don't need to buy something, Natasha. It's very expensive for a reason. The reason being, it's luxury, all right? It doesn't matter if the eyeshadow formula is crushed from diamonds, all right? It's expensive, I don't know. But I do love her formula, and I will continue to recommend the palettes if that is something that you're willing to splurge on. I think Natasha is a great splurge option. Pat McGrath is also a great splurge option, but Pat McGrath, she doesn't have a teal, now does she? Pat McGrath released a teal, and I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll see you at noon. But that's all for our reviews. So if you enjoyed, like and subscribe to our channel. Let us know your thoughts on this palette down below. It seems a bit controversial.
It is.
So we'll see you in the next one. Bye.